wrong intensity or a too high of intensity of exercise at the wrong time in a woman's cycle can actually negatively affect infertility. There's a lot of factors that can affect a person's fertility. Hormones is a big factor, and both males and females, their hormones can be out of whack, so to speak, and affect their fertility. For men, often it's testosterone that they're taking exogenously, and that means it's not coming from their body, so to speak. And what happens is the testosterone that's taken by a pill or another means of external application is it shuts down their LH and FSH, which comes from their brain basically, and that would normally stimulate testosterone in the testes. However, when testosterone's in the bloodstream, it's going to shut down that LH and FSH, and so testosterone is not going to be in the testes, and not enough at least. And the testes need that testosterone to produce sperm and to produce more testosterone as well. Genetically, we can be predisposed to certain disease processes which can affect our fertility. However, the positive part of that is that we can do something about that, even if we have a specific gene. For example, MTHFR, many people have that gene mutation, so to speak. And if a person has two of those, like one for their mother and one from their father, that means they have a harder time metabolizing B vitamins, and we need a special form of the B vitamins. And without that special form, it can affect fertility. Not to say people that have that gene can't get pregnant, but it's just good to be aware of some things that can genetically affect fertility. Environmental factors definitely affects fertility. And that might be a piece of why we're running into infertility more and more frequently today. We don't know that for sure, but there are a lot of studies that have taken specific chemicals, man-made chemicals that are in our environment or that we might ingest because they're pesticides and they're on our food, or we might come across them in household products. And there has been a fair amount of research on specific chemicals and how that affects a person's fertility. Most of the research has been done on men, but we can extrapolate that to women as well, and we have more and more data to show us what environmental toxins do have an effect on fertility, and there are quite a few. Lifestyle has a really big impact on fertility, and that's one of the things we really like to focus on is looking at that, is what foods are we eating? Are we eating foods that are inflammatory? Are we eating foods that are processed and then causes inflammation? Are we eating foods that have pesticides on it? So those are lifestyle choices, as well as that sleep. Sleep is very important. That's when our bodies rejuvenate completely across our body. But especially when we're looking at reproductive systems, we want those organs to be able to replenish and rejuvenate, and the mitochondria, the powerhouses of our cells, are so important, especially to our sperm and our eggs in reproduction. So those lifestyle choices, as well as exercise, I like to say we want movement. Actually, too much exercise or the wrong intensity or a too high of intensity of exercise at the wrong time in a woman's cycle can actually negatively affect infertility. But also we want movement to balance out our immune system, to help clear our mind and get our stress level from up here lower. So of course stress negatively affects fertility as well. So a really big one is meditation or some type of practice to bring our bodies to decrease the stress level. And basically, I like to think about it as bringing us from the sympathetic state to the parasympathetic state. So the sympathetic state is the fight or flight, where we're running, we're going, we're moving, we're thinking about this and thinking about that. And the parasympathetic state is, we're nice and relaxed, we're inviting in thoughts that might not be there otherwise because we're so busy and we're going. So the parasympathetic lets our mind relax, and doing that, our whole nervous system can relax as well. So I like to encourage people to find what works for you, what Is it meditation? That's a wonderful way. For other people, it might be taking a walk in nature. That's a wonderful way as well. Very important. If you want to learn more about optimizing your health and your fertility, then follow me and subscribe to learn more.